Press harder. Ladies and gentlemen, press harder. You know, right now I'm on my artist's way journey. Shout out Julia Cameron, the GOAT, the greatest. And every day that means you're waking up and you're doing your morning pages, you're writing down 3 pages of whatever comes out of your brain in your notebook. And I sit down with my pen, with the ink, and I'm writing. And as I write, out comes greatness. Just like it does from you, whatever you write down, those ideas are great. And as I press my pen to the page, sometimes the ink runs dry. So you know what I gotta do? I gotta press a little harder. Sometimes that's what you gotta do, is press a little harder on the page. Sometimes you gotta push yourself and your creative self, and you gotta press a little bit harder to get those ideas out. It can lead to very interesting outputs and outcomes if you do this. And I'm not really sure what's happening to me right now personally, but I know how it makes me feel, and I feel great. And I know things are working because of the way that the way I feel is amazing. And 2, how I'm seeing these visions come to life. And with morning pages, I think that's a great tool or a concept just to try. I'm not saying you have to go read Julia's book, but they're really great because it shows the idea of creativity and pressing harder come to life, because you're doing something every day. Most of the time, I wake up and I sit down with nothing in my brain at 8 a.m. It's some coffee, and I sit down and I go, I don't know what I'm gonna write. I used to do that, now I just write. I don't even think about that. I've reduced all the friction that you can, to the point where I have my notebook open and my pen open and at my desk with my chair. I don't have to do anything except sit down. Sometimes we have all these steps we gotta do to do the things we wanna do. So make it as easy as possible. First thing in the morning, easy as possible, before anything else. So I sit down and I go, I don't know what I'm gonna say, but about 20 minutes later, 30 minutes later, without fail, probably for the last 10 days, 15 days straight, at the end of that, I probably have 2 or 3 different brilliant, amazing topics that I want to talk about with you guys here. Or just an idea for a joke that I have, or a design concept, or, I want to get more cinematic with some of the things I'm filming here. I think I want to start putting in landscapes from New York. I live here, and I love seeing, I'll go to Kino Library, shout out Kino Library on YouTube, and I'll watch the 70s from New York because it's so cool. And I want to capture the moment in life that I'm living right now here. So I might add some cinematography to this, shout out, coming soon in the next couple of weeks. But these are all ideas from just sitting down and physically writing and pressing harder. And there's no stakes. No one has seen my morning pages. No one has to see this stuff. No one has to see the gibberish that comes out of it. And you can distill these things down to crystal ideas, very crystallized points and ideas, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 from 3 pages of id and just thoughts of ridiculous dreamscapes that you thought of. And you can crystallize these fine points down, and people go, oh my God, you're a genius. No one said that to me, by the way. But people go, oh, that's a great idea, right? Or that's creative. All it is consistency and pressing harder. That's really the secret to creativity. There's inspiration from people, or you can do Virgil's 3% rule and stuff. But at the end of the day, the creativity comes from pressing harder and sitting down and just doing the work and not letting yourself feel resistance when you're doing it. and actually having no tie to the outcome and the output. Again, it's crazy. I'll sit down with nothing in my brain without fail. 20, 30 minutes later, I always have something interesting to noodle on or chew on. And you don't really have to think about where it comes from. You know, Julia says it comes from the creator. I kind of side with her on that. But you could say, oh, it comes from my brilliant mind. That's cool too. If you just do something and you sit down with no friction and you do it, that to me is the flow state. And that's what we're all doing. You know. And it's helped me tremendously with my creativity, the visions that I want to bring to life recently. And that's really what I wanted to share is, you know, sometimes to be creative or to get your work done, you just got to press a little bit harder.